certain drops per ounces, and you can do all those equations at home. We use a lot of different foods, and we feed a lot, so yeah, I mean, you can measure it out, and you can be real accurate with it, and that's fine, but we're just going to give it a little bit in there, and I mean, it's kind of almost a gel. You mix it into the water good first. When we put the food in, we don't want it to be soupy. We just want to make enough so it absorbs all the liquid. These food preps don't take long, and you can make enough to last 3 days. You can put it in your fridge with a lid on it, a couple, 3 times a day, feed all your algae.
Hey Jeff, can you set the green thing?
Yep. We do this every day. We don't feed if it's not soaked. Just cut some noodles. It's food prep. It really is. It's gonna benefit your fish greatly. And you can make a cocktail with this stuff. I mean, you can mix them together. They're designed to be put together. A lot of them have the same nutritional value and you know, B vitamins and C vitamins in them, but they also all have something a little different. So that's why we have so many. You know, it's just competition. You're all going to make them a little different so that you buy their product. Essentially, the fish need all of it. A little bit more. You want it to absorb it all, so you don't want any. Once it sucks it up, you don't want it to get soupy like that, because then it won't last the full 3 days. It'll get real mushy, and it'll just become kind of a pile in there. So we're going to put a little bit more in there, and you can determine this at home. You need to see how much your fish are going to eat in a day, how much you're going to eat in 3 days. Once you start doing this regular, they're going to start eating more. The colors are going to become more vibrant. Your immune systems are going to be built up. You're not going to be so prone to bacterial infections, lymphatosis. Any cryptocarian irritants will have a harder time attaching to their slime coat and essentially infecting the fish, getting in the gills. It's going to help with their breathing. It doesn't take long to prep this stuff. Once you get in the routine of doing it, you'll do this 2-3 times a week. But you want just enough liquid so it soaks it all up into the seaweed. If you buy a seaweed from, if you get one from the grocery store or something, just make sure the ingredients say just seaweed. You don't want any kind of, nothing put in it. You just want it just plain dried seaweed. All right, so that's a little better. We'll let that soak. New fish, whenever you get a new fish, you're going to want to do the cell con every day. New fish, because they're going to, they just came out of shipping. They haven't eaten for days. When they get here, we gut feed them 3 to 5 times a day.
Hey Jeff, fish know you make them.
They see it, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
They know.
Look at them.
We use these same ones every day. I mean, so these fish, they know the whole story. I mean, you've all seen me feed these fish,
yep.
And you know what they all look like. And I've got a good example in the next tank. I've got a hippo over there, and he's got some ectoparasites on him. I rescued him from a 180-gallon tank. He just was malnourished, and that's going to be a perfect example of what happens when you don't feed your fish right. And hippo tanks, a regal tank, they're notorious for getting head and lateral line erosion. I'm sure all of you heard that. Sorry, while we're doing that, we'll let that soak. We got this. Straining this stuff is going to be pretty important because of all of the byproducts that are in it. But like I said, I wish I had some Piscine to show you guys the difference. You can do this at home, though. You can try the Hikari and then do the Piscine. But you can see that water is not real cloudy. The Piscine will turn the water brown. I mean, literally, turn it brown, so I don't sell it. You guys can get that wherever. Do the Hikari, though. It's a good food. These are bioavailable too. They are enriched, but not like the soaks. I mean, they process these things fast. They're processing this stuff so fast. They're not interested in soaking it, but they do encapsulate it when they process it. It doesn't stick though, so you're freezing it. So it really is. I mean, it doesn't defeat the purpose, but it doesn't enable it as well as a food soak.
What kind of byproducts do you have in there?
I mean, there's all kind of waste there. I mean, you've got phosphates, you know, that are in the processing. You've got byproducts that come from the waste of the shrimp. You know, because I mean, when these guys are alive when they harvest them, and then they're putting them in big vats, and they're just all the waste. Because I mean, when you die, you're gonna waste. So all of it, yeah, all of it, the sheds, the molts, everything's in there. So you want to get rid of that. I mean, if you can take the mites' water and leave it out overnight, just the water, worse than any skimmer. And that's what you're putting in your tank. If you're just breaking off the chunk and you're tossing it in there, or even you're thawing it out and then just dumping it, all that byproduct's going in there. Your skimmer's not getting it all, but everything in the tank is absorbing those phosphates and all the different byproducts that are in these packings. We want to definitely rinse. The cubes, I know the cubes are easy, you know, they just pop them out and chunk them in the tank, but I would still rinse them because they're processed and packaged the same way. They're just made for ease of use. That's good. That's